Hi and welcome to this boss guide. This is the Sunwell Plateau guide, and we'll be starting with the first boss in here, Kalecgos. There's also loads of information on the website about the trash leading here, as Sunwell has probably some of the hardest trash in the Burning Crusade, and you start out with arguably the worst packs. Now, Kalecgos has two phases. He's got a dragon phase, or like an upstairs phase, and he's got demon phase, which is in the spectral realm, where you fight someone called Sathravar instead of Kalecgos. We'll focus on the first dragon phase to begin with. Kalecgos is, as you can see, a dragon, and standard dragon rules apply. So he has a frontal breath called Frost Breath that lowers attack speed, does a bit of damage, and it's got a tail lash that stuns and does a bit of damage as well. So we'll be tanking him up against the far side of this arena. So you can see here, this circular arena, this is where we'll be fighting him. This area closes off once you engage him. And we'll be fighting him back here, where he will be perpendicular to the wall. I'll show that in just a second. Other than standard dragon rules, Kalecgos also has three primary mechanics. We'll start with something called Wild Magic. Wild Magic is a lottery buff, or debuff, every 20 seconds, where you get either black, purple, red, blue, green, or white, and they do different things. They either double your casting time to make you do less damage, or they lower your casting time, making you do more. The two most important ones probably are the white and black buff. The black, considered probably a debuff, increases threat generated by 100%. This is very important for warlocks especially, Retribution Paladins with a lot of burst, especially if you get it early on, so watch your threat meter if you get the black debuff. The white one increases damage dealt by crits by 100%, so in a lot of ways it has a similar effect to the black debuff, where your threat generation will skyrocket. Because of the Frost Breath lowering attack speed, Paladin tanks are exceptionally good on this fight due to just how Paladins work, less reliant on auto attacks, more reliant on Holy Shield, Consecrate, Judgment, etc. So keep that in mind when you pick a tank composition for Kalecgos. Other than Wild Magic, which is like a random effect that you can't control, Kalecgos will also every 8 seconds cast something called Arcane Buffet, which deals around 500 arcane damage and ramps up for every stack. It stacks up to 10 times, I believe, so up to 5,000 damage per stack, lasts 40 seconds, and can only be fully resisted. Now, this is a very important thing, so you want a bit of arcane resistance probably for this fight. I've linked two essential items, or two key items for this fight on the website, and but you don't want to go overboard with stacking it, because there is still a lot of damage going out. Kalecgos hits hard, and Sathravar in the Demon Realm also hits very hard and does shadow damage instead. So 2 pieces of arcane resistance probably get around 100, and you should be golden for resisting some of these stacks fully, and maybe even be lucky enough for the debuff to drop off at some point. The last mechanic is called Spectral Blast, which deals around 5.7, 5.8 arcane damage, 1,000 damage, in a 10-yard blast radius around a random raid member. Once a player's hit, they also get teleported into the Demon Realm, and that's how you actually get in there. And the portal is then active for 5 other people to hit the portal with, to join them. For this reason, we'll make some groups. I'll probably post them in some form of Excel sheet or some form of lineup, and every person from a specific group, say a member in group 4 is hit by the Spectral Blast, then the entirety of group 4 enters the Shadow Realm, starts fighting Sathravar in the Demon phase. It's only 5 additional people that can click the portal, so it's very important that it's the right 5 people that click the portal. Groups will be assigned accordingly to this, so we can probably have a heroism in each of the groups going in, making sure that we can get full utilization of buffs, etc. in corresponding realms. You stay in the Shadow Realm for about 60 seconds until you're ported back out, and you have a debuff on you as well called Spectral Exhaustion that prevents you from just jumping like the same 5 people always jumping into the realm. This is why we rotate. These groups will be sorted and assigned so you can see those once we actually engage the fight. In the demon phase, you'll fight Sathravar, as I said, and he has a few mechanics. He has something called Curse of Boundless Agony. This is probably the primary mechanic, which is a curse that is put on a random raid member in the demon realm, and lasts for 30 seconds. This starts off as very minor damage, but ramps up for every tick, and if it fully goes through the 30 seconds without being dispelled, the person will die. It's just an instant kill mechanic, and it will jump onto the next one. The curse jumps whether it's dispelled or if it just runs its course, so you don't want to dispel too early. Probably wait 15 to 20 seconds before you dispel, because otherwise druids will do nothing but dispel through the entire fight, or same with mages. Because of this mechanic, however, and because it is a kill mechanic, we want to make sure that we bring at least 4 dispellers, so we have a dispeller in every group, to make sure that we can always clean the debuff. 3 could probably do, but it's a bit risky. 1 druid, 1 resto druid, 2 mages, 2 resto druids, and a mage could be done. But yeah, you probably want to bring 4, so every group's guaranteed a decursor in their specific raid encounter. In the demon realm, you will also see Kalecgos, who can also tank Sathravar. It's a good idea to let Kalecgos tank a little bit. He deals a lot of damage, he has a lot of health, and healers, you can heal him as well. Tanks, make sure that you call out that you're going to taunt before you taunt, so that healers aren't surprised by the damage. Both Kalecgos and Sathravar hit quite hard, and there's a lot of damage going on just in general during this fight. So make sure you have healers on board when you do stuff. Tank swaps in Dragon Phase will be done according to your group as well, your group assignment. So you can taunt Kalecgos and just swap out to make sure that you go in to the right realm at the right time. Again, communication is key here. This is probably also why this is considered, at least in my opinion, one of the harder first bosses in most of the classic experience of WoW, just because it requires so much communication to execute properly. Once you get this down through trial and error, this is probably a quite simple fight. It's just about learning how to deal with the different mechanics. But yeah, I'll try and pull it here. So pull Kalecgos, and then you want to pull him back here and place him like so. So this way, he's perpendicular to the wall. This leaves a lot of room for melee to stand here in the midsection of Kalecgos, and a lot of room here for range to spread out. As you can see, I'm also getting these wild magic debuffs, or buffs, so healing done increased, hit reduced, threat generation increased. As you can see now, the arena is closed off, and now I can't exit the arena. On this, you just DPS Kalecgos down. Don't worry about health and damage numbers, it's a shot on retail. Once Kalecgos or Sathravar hits 10%, they will enrage. Now, I can't kill Kalecgos before Sathravar is also dead. So as you can see here, this is Kalecgos fighting Sathravar. He can tank it for a bit. If I could heal him, I would. And now, basically here, just need to make sure that Kalecgos doesn't die, and we DPS Sathravar down. During the actual encounter, you want to make sure that Sathravar and Kalecgos hit 10% roughly at the same time as they enrage at this point, gaining 10% increased damage and attack speed for every 5 seconds. So it's quite a harsh enrage. See? Here Sathravar is increasing in damage. It's actually starting to hurt a little bit. Other than that, there's not much to it. Just kill in here. Wait with using Heroism till you reach Demon Phase. Because he will always be a bit behind because there are more people in the Dragon Realm to begin with. So yeah, just kill boss, get loot.